Alright, so I haven't had much time to think about the Earth being a Vesica Pisces for very long, okay? But during my thoughts, I've come to the conclusion that it is depicting a chain, guys, okay? Now, it's a chain because all I can see is another big ball on top of the little ball, and another big ball underneath here, and it just continues and continues infinitely. But not only that, but I also see one of these, okay, over here, right? Another big ball over here, touching, which is now creating your torus. Okay, your T-O-R-U-S. Alright? This is your donut. Donut is going in, out and in to another circle. Now, if that's the torus, okay, if this is the donut, and that would be like the cathode and the anode or something, your positive, negative, okay? And all your positive and negatives are also in the donut, okay? Going to the other donut over here, guys, you know? Why does the shape of the Earth matter? Well, the shape of the Earth matters pretty much a lot because of free energy, is what I think. I think that if we are to get free energy, we have to master the torus, master the powers of 3, 6, and 9, and understand how to generate energy by forgetting the titans. Meaning, no longer using solids, liquids, or gases as fuel to create energy, thus creating a clean energy in the form of a magnetic field to contain an electrical charge. Now, there are certain aspects of this zodiac model that are unbalanced, meaning that Pisces only has 25, okay? Like, they don't have 26, and Orion, wherever Orion is, right here, that has 27 days. All the rest of 26. So if you create a slight little wobble, you know, and they say the Earth is on a tilt, guys, and it wobbles, well, if you were creating an electric field contained in a magnetic field, and you're producing some sort of wave, whether a sinusoidal or square wave, I'm sure enough there would have to be a little bit of off balance going on in the balance system, thus producing this new frequency, or this new harnessing this energy. Now, what I think the reality of the future is going to be is that all the telephone poles, all the electricity, all the nuclear, all the solar, all the wind, all the water-powered, whatever, are all going to go away because they will not be required anymore. Now, if you go look into free energy, the only problem with free energy is getting it to the certain RPM to get it to do what you need to do to create the energy, to be self-sufficient and not have to use a fuel. Getting away from fossil fuels, getting away from solids, liquids, and gases, and relying purely on magnetism to create an abundance of energy to power all of our needs. Now, if every home was fitted in the basement with one of these units that was always on, charging, creating energy, not charging batteries, okay? We're not charging batteries, it's just an infinite source of energy which is going to everything, going to all the plugs and everything in the house, which you connect your devices to like you normally would, using whatever electronic devices that are, you know, that we have. We just need a different power source. Now, if this infinite power source, okay, it's not going to go anywhere, it's housed in the magnetic field created by the torus, okay, and the anode and cathode, which is probably just a big ball on bottom and top, okay, probably use Fibonacci to figure out the spacing between, okay, this is an icosahedron, okay, I'm still on that, okay, this is a 12-noded, three-dimensional shape. And maybe if you pinch a 12-noded three-dimensional shape and you pinch two faces to create a singularity at the center of it, you make a donut. You make this model, okay? Now, if we had an abundance of energy, everyone's saying, well, to get these free energy machines working, you need to prime it with an electric motor or a diesel generator. Fine, I understand that, everything's cool. But if everyone had one of these in their houses, to power their houses, or if there's, you know, gas stations had these, you know, and all you had to do was to drive your car, which had a little miniature version of this, okay, and to get it primed, all you had to do was kind of like tap it to the source for a couple seconds, get it spinning, and then off you go, okay? Same thing with your lawnmower, same thing with your automobile, okay? Everything can be powered using this clean, fossil fuel-free energy. Now, maybe harnessing the power of the magnetic field to contain such a powerful, you know, electric charge would be understanding the true and proper shape of the Earth. Okay, free energy for all, abundance for all, okay? You know, kind of a game changer, guys. No need for capitalism and no need for like all those markets and all that bullshit, guys. Okay? Now, 1 of 7 of 13. 1 of 7 of 13 is quite significant and important in our current reality. And you know, I'm not gonna budge on that, guys. Okay? It's important. Because what is 1 of 7 of 13? I can't believe it. It's been staring at me in the face all this time, and I have not made the revelation yet. But 1 of 7 of 13 is essentially becoming one with God. Okay? And if you want to add the 110 in there, it's becoming one with God and the most powerful number, number 9. Okay? Well, what is 1 of 7 of 13? How is that equal to God? Well, God has a left and a right. 50% left, right, 50% right. There is a duality, a positive and a negative, a masculine and feminine. Now, 7 is the first, G is the first dimension of 7. Okay, it's the first time we get to 7 as a single digit, guys. Now, son of, okay, G-D or whatever, G son of D. The sun is 15, you know, 15th letter of the alphabet is your O. Okay, there are 14 zodiacs, but you always have to account for the infinite, guys, so the +1, you know, the 15. And 13 is a 4, but it's the second dimension of 4. Okay, the first dimension of 4 would be the number 4. The second dimension of 4 would be the number 13, I'd say. The third dimension of 4 would be the number 22, which is a V, and we need to make the V, guys. That's what unity is about. That's what free energy is about. That's what abundance for all is all about. So, it's quite interesting. Now, to become one, and 1 of 7 of 13 of 110, to me depicts, you know, becoming one with God, and the most powerful number, the number 9. I'm getting a lot of hints along my journey, you know, whether it's right or wrong. I'm not trying to force any views on anyone. I'm just sharing some interesting observations, because I'm an observer, and so are you. And we're all just trying to figure out the same puzzle, guys. So if Tesla knew the power of 3, 6, and 9, understanding the solids, liquids, and gases, understanding Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, and understanding the true power of magnetism and the torus, understanding that you don't need to use solids, liquids, and gases as fuel to create energy, you know? Like when you can have a campfire, guys, and you're burning like wood, there's a little bit of moisture content in that wood, and you need the air around you to be able to produce the flame, the oxygen in the air. Okay? So when you create a campfire, you're creating energy in an analog form as fire in its infinite form, because fire does whatever little dazzling little dance that fire does, guys, okay? That's what fire is. Fire is an infinite expression of finite energy contained by solids, liquids, and gases. We need to stop thinking finite and start thinking infinite. That's what I keep saying. Keep thinking infinite. So what if someone had a computer program and was able to model an icosahedron and then compress that icosahedron so that it creates a donut, okay? Where, you know, the walls of the donut would be perfectly circular, okay? Out of the 12 nodes, which are just arrangements of anodes and cathodes or something like that. I don't even remember that stuff, guys. I used to do a lot of circuitry and stuff, electronics. But all that knowledge kind of like isn't presently with me, you know? I know I have learned it. But all I'm saying is that if you put an anode and a cathode, like the 13th and the 14th, like the Vesica and Pisces, like the Virgo and Pisces, okay? On top and bottom of said torus of icosahedron, in some configuration, spacing, size-wise, whatever, I'm trying to think of what it would be. Different sizes, guys. We are all the same. We are all equal. All 14 are equal, so they should all theoretically be the same size. You know, and because if you depict the zodiac with one just like it right beside it, touching, depicting a cross-section of the torus, Okay, you're gonna have 4 little dots. 4 little dots could just be the touching points of one giant dot. Does that mean that the bulb, the 2 spheres on top and bottom of the torus have to be 4 times the size of a normal cell? I don't know, guys, okay? All I'm saying is that I think it's possible to create a magnetic field using the model of the Earth, okay? To generate a magnetic field and electrical field if you have off balances in certain areas, which will create a new frequency, a new sine wave or square wave, which is then could be used to power or jumpstart smaller devices of the same making in all of the things we need powered. Like your car would have one of these, your bike would have one of these, your motorcycle or whatever, your lawnmower would have one of these, you know? And your house would have one, a big one that's always on, and everyone's house would always have one that's always on, and there would just never be a moment where you couldn't jumpstart something to get it going. Because once you turn off your car, you turn off that force, and it shuts off, and it becomes still, okay guys? It's not always running, but the one in your house is always running. It's designed to do that, let's say. And in the morning, when you want to go start your car, all you do is go, I don't know, tap your thing with your house with like a jumper wire, like a Bixwall, guys, you know? It takes DS0 signals, okay, which are like your phone lines and your internet lines in an office building, and it sends it to a wall where that RJ45 cable is broken down into all the base pairs of wires, and then you do a jumper base pair from the Bixwall to another Bixwall, which is then connected usually to a router where it converges all of the signals into one big pipe of information, which is how you get your data, which is how you get your telecommunications. So what if you just had a power plant in your house and you kind of Bixwalled it off of all the things that weren't attached to your house, and everything that was attached to your house, you know, always got infinite power, guys. So that's why I think the shape of the Earth matters. I think it has to do with free energy. I think it has to do with letting go of the idea that we need fuel to produce energy. Solids, liquids, and gases. 1 of 7 of 13 is just another depiction of becoming one with God. But now, you're battling a second dimension 4, or the cube of Saturn to the second dimension, and you're battling the first dimension of the alpha, God, or G, okay? 7. You know, there's your 3, okay? What did I say about everything is, you have to flip it, it's backwards, and upside down, okay? So there are 3 things, okay? Your news and everything is skewed 3 different ways to keep you from truth. So if you were to take everything that everyone says as a collective, the tyranny collective, and you flip it upside down, reverse it, and know that it's backwards, you can decode the truth. You will get the 9 out of the P, D, and 6. So that's what I think that's all about. Fibonacci tells me so. It's kind of cool. Okay, I'm thinking that, you know, the Earth depiction with the Vesica Pisces and then having another Earth and another Vesica Pisces and another Earth and another Vesica Pisces, it makes a chain, guys. It makes 2 DNA strands. 2 DNA strands side by side that are probably spinning. Like when you take a wire, you take one long copper wire, you fold it in half, and once you fold it in half, you wrap one end around post and the other end you put in the drill, and that wire is only finite thick, but when you do this and then spin the drill, you will shorten the wire, but you will make a thicker gauge of perfectly spun wire. Now if you then take 3 more or whatever many more of these dual spin wires and do the same process and spin them together, you will make a larger gauge of wire, obviously a shorter gauge of wire, but you see where I'm getting with? It's like a strand, like a DNA strand, spiraling, guys, to become one, to create something new, guys, okay? Now think of the Earth like that, okay? It's just a double helix created by the torus, which is duality, guys. We have to battle the devil times 2, okay? And we have to battle, you know, the alpha too, okay? Nothing's gonna be easy, okay? Just because you're always doing good and always being pious and always saying your shit and whatever, and using your ego doesn't mean you're correct or anything, okay? We have to battle all sides of things. Remember, we're battling time, love, and ego, nothing and infinite. Cheers.